Hi, this is Allie with the Perception Traders, author of The Perception Diet, and today I have part 2 of my How I Manifested My Dream Life story. So if you haven't watched part 1, I've linked it down below. Go watch that first, otherwise this is going to just be kind of gobbledygook. So basically, where we got to in the last video was all this crazy stuff. So Vancouver took us to Thailand, took us to Montreal, and eventually we made it to San Francisco. And again, I think I just want to reiterate that, I had my job with Young and Raw, and quitting that job was really horrifying and terrifying, and I really didn't want to do that. But I really needed to. I needed to move forward because I really wanted to start my own company. I wanted to be doing my own thing. And so I had this job, again, with Grounded Nutrition during Montreal, and then until we moved to San Francisco and I realized that I wasn't legally allowed to work. And it was like one of the most healing experiences of my life to work with Whitney, with Grounded Nutrition. She just really empowered me and made me realize that I had something to say and that I was worthy and that I was worthwhile, and it was possible for me to do what I wanted to do and to be who I wanted to be. And I am forever grateful for her and everything she taught me and her work ethic, and just it was just one of those experiences that I don't think that I would be who I am today had I not had that experience. So again, it was just I knew that I needed to quit my job with Young and Raw, and even before I actually took the step to do it, Whitney put out an ad that she was looking for somebody, and essentially I was the only candidate, because I had all the experience of doing all of the things that she needed someone to do because of working for Young and Raw. So I essentially was working towards already getting a new job before I even had to let go of the old job. So sometimes the universe is really nice to you, and when you know that you need to take a step, I knew that I needed to take a step away from Young and Raw, and I had known that since we were in Thailand, and I kept holding on and not doing it. All the way till Montreal. And so the universe kind of gave me a bone, and it was look, here's what you're stepping into. You don't have to completely let go of everything. You will have something else on the other side. And so even though quitting Young and Raw was really scary and really hard and really not fun, the universe was supporting me, and there was always something on the other side. Whenever I basically said, you know what, I'm ready to take the next step. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to do it. I just know where I want to be, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. That's when the answer would come. Okay, so this is thing number 2 that I want to let you know about manifestation. Number 1, it's feeling how you want to feel when you have what you want, right? Practicing feeling as though you already have it. Second thing is saying to the universe, you're ready to take the step, and you're open, and you're willing, and and then you just ask, what's the next step? Where am I supposed to go? Lead me, guide me, direct me, right? And at the same time, when we were in Montreal, I was really getting into meditation and really getting into communicating with the universe and really, really getting into my spiritual path. And I had always been a very spiritual person before that, but this was when it all got really real. I was meditating for an hour a day and doing Kundalini meditations and mantras and breathing and going to see a Kundalini expert guy and all this stuff. And I was really, really working on myself and really going inside and really looking at my emotions and feeling things for the first time and really letting myself feel them, not running away from my fear. I had one moment in Montreal where I decided just not to distract myself, and I was having all this anxiety, and rather than going and cooking or cleaning or coming up with some task that I had always done, I just let myself sit there and feel it. And at first I literally thought I was going to die. I literally thought that I was going to die from my anxiety. I thought my heart was going to stop. But then that didn't happen, right? I had this kind of breakthrough where I was whoa, I have this crazy false belief about myself and my value and my worth, and that's what's making me feel so anxious. And it was in this kind of the universe had siphoned me off into this little corner, like I said, in this apartment in Montreal with no friends in the middle of winter with nowhere to go and only 4 hours of work a day, where there was nothing to do but sit there and face myself. And so I was facing myself over and over again. And then I thought that by the time we got to San Francisco, that was all going to be over, and whatever, I was going to be on my trajectory, getting famous, being a spiritual guide. And so we get to San Francisco, all this stuff happens, I realize I'm not allowed to have a job, and again, everything stops. right? Like I stopped really kind of pursuing my career. I just started making YouTube videos because it was something fun to do. I was writing my blog, I was writing my website, I was doing all this stuff, but I didn't really think that it was going anywhere because I was like, I can't work while we're in San Francisco. And so again, it was just like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of time and space to just like be with myself. And for a lot of it, it was really hard and really scary and really a lot overwhelming, really, like to just kind of face all of my pain and everything that I had been going through and to stop running from it and just be with myself. And that was really what happened. The entire time we were in San Francisco, I was just stuck being with myself. And this whole time, I'm pushing Marcus to take his job remote because I want to get back to Thailand, right? I just want to get back to Thailand. I'm convinced as soon as we get back to Thailand, I'm going to be happy. Everything's going to be great. I'm going to be able to run my company, blah, 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 blah. And I'm even like telling him, quit your job. Like, I don't even care. We'll figure it out. Like, we've got savings. I just want to get back to Thailand. And I'm obsessed with Thailand, okay? This whole time. Montreal, San Francisco, I'm obsessed with Thailand. So then in August of 2014, we went to the Woodstock Free Festival, and we met a whole bunch of friends who are working online, and they're doing their thing, and I met up with Megan Elizabeth, and I ended up doing some work for her, helping her out with her projects, and it was like really fun, and we were meeting these people who were like, and they were living in Hawaii, and we kind of got this idea that I was like, maybe we should go move to Hawaii with them. And so Marcus again ends up convincing his company to let him take his job to Montreal, or to Hawaii. And we're all excited about it, but this time I'm like, you know what, I really don't think Hawaii is the thing. I don't think I want to go to Hawaii. I don't think it's going to be the thing for us. And Marcus is convinced that it's the thing for us. So he's like, no, we're going to Hawaii, I already convinced my company, we're going to Hawaii. And I was like, I don't know, I don't think it's good, but okay. So then again, he's going to work, he's convinced his boss to let him take his job to Hawaii. That's all fine, and then his supervisor goes on vacation. So we're basically waiting for 2 weeks till his supervisor comes back just to confirm everything with HR that we can take this job to Hawaii. I'm sitting around and I'm just like, you know what, I don't know, I don't think this is gonna happen. So his his supervisor comes back from vacation, and essentially what happened was his supervisor got pulled into the office to talk with all the bigwigs at the company and is told that he actually has to lay off a whole bunch of people because the company is going down. And so guess who gets laid off? Marcus. So Marcus comes home, he's like, hey, I got laid off. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Okay, so now not only are we not going to Hawaii, we have to start this whole process over again because us being in America is completely dependent upon his job. So basically, Marcus then starts this round of interviews where he's, again, running around like a chicken with his head cut off because there's all this demand for what he does. But we really want a job where he can take it remote because, again, Thailand is our ultimate goal, right? We're still thinking we're going to end up with him having a job remote, I have a job remote, we're living in Thailand. And he doesn't want to give up his career, I don't want to give up my career, so we need a job that's going to let him do this. And right in the middle of this, he basically comes to me, he's like, you know what, babe, like, I don't think this is ever going to happen. I don't think we're going to get our dream. I don't think we're going to be able to have us living remote, traveling the world, doing whatever we want, and me still having my career. Because this is the career I want, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. And we basically had this huge meltdown that night where it was just like, holy shit, like, do we need to give up on our dream? Because we've been trying at this for now for like 3 years. And it felt like we were no closer than we were at the beginning. We felt like we were just as far away from it as we were ever going to be. And we considered just quitting and kind of screwing off to Thailand and just hoping that my career would carry us at some point and all that. But Marcus was just like, no, we're not going to do this. And after that kind of meltdown, we both kind of mustered our courage again that we're just like, okay, we're just gonna try it one more time. Okay, if it doesn't happen this time, then we can quit and we can figure something else out. So he goes for one more job interview, and he ends up landing a job interview with this company where half the company is remote already. So I'm thinking, like, you have to take this job. Pick this one. This is the job. And he was like, oh, okay, maybe, I don't know, whatever. And then, so he ends up taking this job with this company, and it was like the best choice ever. This company is amazing. They are really a conscious company. They have been around for 10 years, so they're stable. They are really loose with how they treat their employees, but they're like doing really awesome things in the world. They are working to help like pass laws in Congress about education in the United States, and they're just doing some really, really, really awesome things in the world. The CEO is a really, really awesome guy, and Marcus gets to have some real work experience working for a company that he actually believes in. Because the companies kind of that he had been working for before were like, okay, kind of skeezy, and then maybe just, you know, fitness oriented or whatever, but not really amazing. This company is amazing, right? They're just so great. So that's awesome, right? Again, we're doing really well financially. We're doing really, like, we're moving forward. Marcus is moving forward in his career. I'm still miserable, okay? So I'm still in San Francisco feeling like I'm gonna die. I decide to write this 33-day program. I do all this like background work, just creative work, not knowing, like thinking at some point we're not gonna be in the States and I'm gonna wanna do something. And I'm just doing videos and all this stuff, and my YouTube is kind of starting to take off, my Instagram is starting to take off, and these fun things are happening, but I'm still just like crazy in my head thinking like, I'm so miserable in the States because I just want to be in Thailand and I just want to be free and I can't do this 9-to-5 thing anymore. So again, I'm like pestering Marcus, ask to take your job remote, ask to take your job remote, ask to take your job remote. So after he works for the company for about 4 months, he's like, okay, I'm going to ask to take my job remote. And again, there's so much resistance. He's horrified because this would be like the third or fourth time now in a row that he like tried to take his job remote and got fired, or it didn't work out or whatever. And so he's like freaking out. I'm like, no, you gotta do it. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. So he takes his supervisor out for lunch, and he basically explains like, look, my partner like has this like dream. She wants to be this like this coach. She wants to do all this stuff in her life, and she can't work in the States. And he's like, I love this company. I want to work for you forever, but it's just not sustainable for us to be in the States. Can I take my job remote? Like, he's got this whole speech plan, and basically his supervisor was like, yeah, that's fine, sure. Just let us know. And so we ended up, we're like, what? Okay, what? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Totally. Take your job remote. And so we are like celebrating, but then at this point we're like, okay, we're not going to totally celebrate yet because we don't know. So then we're like doing all this research of like where we can go with him being an employee, and we're still like thinking like he's going to be an employee, so we're going to have to be somewhere where we don't need a visa to work and da da da. And so we decide on Mexico. And we're thinking, okay, this is like phase one in the steps, because he still can't take his job completely remote, because again, if he's an employee, he still needs a visa anywhere we go, so Thailand is kind of out of the picture. So anyways, we're doing all this research, Later on, he basically finds out that in order to work remote, he needs to be a contractor. And this is a bunch of details that maybe doesn't make sense to you, but all that you need to know is essentially what happened is we got like perfectly positioned to be in this place where we are both independent contractors, meaning we're allowed to be in wherever we want in the world, and we don't need to have all of these papers to, you know, make everything legit, because we're contractors. We're allowed to be wherever we want. Our office is our computer. And so we essentially, at the 11th hour, stepped into our dream. Okay, so we basically were like, wow, this is amazing. So we leave San Francisco, we went and visited Whitney for a little bit in Winlaw, BC, we went to Vancouver, had a little reprieve there. I'm starting to like blow up with coaching clients, my career is starting to take off again, and then we moved down to Mexico. And so we're gonna be here for another 6 months, or another couple of months. And then after this, we might do we'll do Woodstock, we'll do the tour, and then we're going to Thailand, because we're free to do that now. We literally have our dream, okay? So all of that being said, right, I held on to this Thailand thing the entire time. I held on to this vision of us both working remote, both having this job that we can do whatever we want, be wherever we want, that we can go live in Thailand, we can do whatever we want, and still have our jobs, still have our careers, and it's happened. We're living it. This is our reality 5 years later, okay? 3 years later, however many years. It took us a long time, right? And there was a lot of heartbreak, and there was a lot of meltdown, and there was a lot of anxiety, and there was a lot of fear, and there was a lot of pushing through barriers, okay? So like again, like he has to leave his job, and he's having all these meltdowns, and we go to Thailand, and then he can't find a job, and that's a huge struggle. And then I want to leave my job, and that's a huge struggle, but we can't because I'm supporting us, and then we have to go to Montreal, and then I leave my job, and then he gets fired, and then we get separated, and he goes to San Francisco and I don't, and then he gets laid off again, and then we finally land on this job and we finally land here, and it was like a lot of crazy stuff. We've been through a lot to get here. And so like that's number 3 that I want to tell you about manifestation is when what you want is really different from what you have, you got to know that that's going to mean a lot of change. Like we are completely different people now than we were when I first invented this idea. Okay? And that's another thing that I want to say about manifestation is that really what's happening when you are chasing something, okay? So like us chasing this reality that we have now. It was just a light post for us to become the people that we were meant to become. For me to become the person that I was meant to be, right? For me to face these challenges over and over again. For me to face myself over and over again. For me to even be put in the place where I had to meditate, I had to journal, I had to process all the stuff that I was going through, is what enabled me to be the person that I am today, doing what I'm doing and having the career that I've always wanted to have. It's because I faced all my shadows, and I faced, well, maybe I haven't faced all my shadows, but I faced a lot of them. And the reason that I did that is because I was motivated by the manifestation. Okay, so part 1 is the manifestation is important, and what you want is important, and you should go after it, and allow that to be what carries you. Allow your dreams to be the thing that say, okay, I'm going to do this hard thing, I'm going to face this scary thing, I'm going to go into those dark places because that's what I want, and this is what's required, this is the path. Right? So knowing that whatever comes on the path, there were so many times where I was like, we're way off path. But it wasn't. We were completely on path. Every challenge that came in our way is the thing that made us strong enough and capable and aware enough and to have the skills to live this life. Right? If we hadn't been through all of those challenges, if we hadn't faced all of that stuff and had all those roadblocks in our way, we wouldn't be able to do this. So when you're manifesting and roadblocks come in your way, know that that's purposeful. That's to give you the strength and the skills and the knowledge and the wisdom to do what you want to do. That's the point, okay? So feel how you want to feel. Feel what it would feel like. Start to follow that feeling. Understand that the roadblocks are there to pull you, right? The roadblocks are there to make you stronger. And allow yourself to hold on to the vision because that's what's going to help get you through. See, now I'm at this place where I realized that it wasn't the thing that I actually wanted, okay? This is what I'm realizing now, that I thought Thailand was going to make me happy. I thought being remote was going to make me happy. I thought having this spiritual career was going to make me happy, and And all of these things have happened, right? They're happening. And at the end of the day, these are not the things that are making me happy. These are not the things that are going to make me happy. I still have days where I'm unsatisfied. And you know what? That's a huge lesson for me. I was so focused on the manifestation for so long, and like I say, that's good. That's what got me to this point. So I'm not saying that I regret that, or I'm not saying that that was wrong, or if you're at a place where you're really focused on the manifestation, that's wrong. Be focused on it. That's where you're supposed to be, and that's what got me here. But now that I'm here, I realize that what I wanted was just this. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be peaceful. I just wanted to feel like I was okay and that I could be okay and that I was going to be okay. And the manifestation hasn't given me that, okay? That's the internal work that I've been doing and that I've done. So now I'm at this place where I'm no longer focused on manifesting things. I don't really care what's going to happen in my life because really all that I know is that I can be happy no matter what. And I could have been happy back in Montreal. I could have been happy in San Francisco. And the thing is, my life is going to continue to unfold. I'm still going to want things. I'm still going to go after things. But it's no longer with the idea that it's going to make me happy or it's going to satisfy me. It's just because I know that that's the next step on my path. And that's the next step in my life. But the happiness and the satisfaction and the knowing that I'm okay and that I'm good is permanent. And that's something that comes from inside, and it doesn't matter what my outside is. And that's what I've learned the most, is that it's not the manifestation that matters, and it wasn't even the manifestation that I wanted, okay? So I hope that that means something for you. Let me know below what you thought of this. And yeah, find me on Facebook, Perception Trainers. Find me on Instagram, Ali_Perception Trainers. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.